I'm Allison Gormly, and thanks for joining me for What's the Deal? Heading to a wedding, special occasion, or just change sizes, your outfit may need alterations. Ahead, I'll tell you what's the deal with how much money some of those tweaks can cost you. And all generic drugs are not created equal, according to a new study. The actions you can take to try and make drug information more transparent. Plus, if you are trying to change how you receive some Social Security benefits, you may need to take some new steps to prove your identity. I'll break down what that means for you. Here's what's the deal with those consumer headlines and more. When you shop for a dress or suit, you may budget a certain dollar amount. However, if the clothing needs alterations, that budget may need a boost.
Yeah, okay.
Clothing that fits well makes us feel a certain way.
Well, it's very important to me to look sharp.
That's why Sandy Keever brought her jacket to Alterations.
My sleeves are too long.
The price to get them shortened, about $25.
It's like you're an engineer for clothing.
Manager Carolina said she's been sewing for a decade and that alteration prices vary based on the clothing's complexity. Leading the charge on complexity, dresses. Let's take a hem, for example, with one layer and no beading.
This one will normally be about $45. We do charge $20 for steam.
If your piece has more pizzazz, including multiple tulle layers and beads or sequins, that can cost nearly double.
Sometimes we gotta do it by hand, or we gotta remove the beads and then hem it and then put back on the beads.
Similar to insurance pricing, you can ask your tailor about bundling.
If, like, let's say in this dress here, you get hem, size, and the bustle. With the hem already being between 65 to 85, we just lower it to 65, then the size, and then the bustle. So you're looking at probably like 110 for that one.
If you're in the market for some stitching on your suit, prices vary around town. Sleeves can run $30 to $60. Getting the jacket sized, $45 to $65. Taking in the waist, $20 to $35. And a hem, $20 to $25. If it's a new suit, stores often offer these tweaks for free. Basic alterations for both suits and dresses are free if they come from Von Maur or Nordstrom. Just confirm the definition of basic ahead of time, stitching some confidence into your style. If you're still shopping for clothing for an event, keep in mind these numbers. A $150 dress could quickly turn into a $250 dress. The company 23andMe may hold your genetic data if you've ever submitted a sample. It's how the group provides health information and tracks down family members. But now that 23andMe is up for sale, it's raising questions about what could happen to your data. That's why experts and attorneys general are advising concerned users to download their genetic data from the site and delete their profile afterward. To download it, head to 23andme.com, click Settings and 23andMe Data. If you want the info gone, you can hit Delete Data in the same section. So why should you consider taking these steps? A cybersecurity expert says a possible sale can raise questions.
So the question then becomes, who's going to own my data and what are they going to do with it? Are they going to use this for research purposes like what we originally agreed to, the whole premise? Or is the question now that it's going to be used for marketing purposes?
There is also a spot on the site called Requesting 23andMe Account Closure. That'll have more information for you. Now, when you get a generic medication, you likely have no idea where it's made. And it turns out where it's made could be important and even impact the drug's quality. When you're out shopping, you see labels showing where the product is made. But look at your generic medication, and there's a good chance the made in line is missing.
You just have to take it and trust it.
George Ball with the Kelley School of Business said this detail is important because the country in which the drug is made can impact its quality, according to a new study he co-authored.
Outcome variable in the study was adverse events.
In it, he and his team compared generics made in advanced economies, including the U.S., to generics made in emerging economies, including India. Those two countries represent a majority of the manufacturing in their study.
You are more likely to have hospitalization or a serious health problem due to an adverse event from taking a drug if that drug was made, if it's an older drug made in India compared to the exact same drug made in the United States.
The sample compared generics on the market for 8 years or longer, one set from an emerging economy and the exact same set from an advanced economy. The number of severe adverse events for the generics produced in an emerging economy was 54% higher.
If every bottle had a country and a quality rating, the market would reward both domestic manufacturer and high-quality manufacturers.
Otherwise, it's just cost dictating sales. If the FDA wants to visit a U.S. drug maker, Ball said they can show up unannounced. For drug makers outside of the U.S., it's a different scenario.
Because of diplomatic reasons, travel reasons, and other reasons, they give weeks or months advance notice.
While he acknowledges that there is little consumers can do right now, there is some action.
And talk to their congressmen and congresswomen, because in the end, it's probably going to have to come down to a change in FDA policy or law.
Leveling the marketplace for the everyday consumer. Ball told us that his team took years to reliably trace a generic medication back to the country where it was made. So for you and me, likely not happening. The Social Security Administration recently announced steps to reduce fraud. That means certain people under certain circumstances will need to take measures to prove their identity. This is for people applying for Social Security benefits or changing direct deposit information. Everyone else, you're good right now. If you actively use or plan to use the .gov site My Social Security, that's how you'll go about confirming your identity. For those who do not use the website, this is for you. You will need to head into an office if you are applying for retirement, survivor's spouse, or child benefits, though you can start the process over the phone. If you are changing your direct deposit information, and if you receive a paper check and need to change your address. If you need to apply for Social Security, disability insurance, Medicare, or supplemental security income and are unable to use this website, this can be done over the phone. Again, these measures are for people who do not use the website. Now, your hard-earned money may be sitting in a forgotten retirement account. Now there is an easier way to search for accounts associated with your Social Security number. Money might be out there waiting for you to claim it. A new tool to help is Uncle Sam's new Retirement Savings Lost and Found database. Created through the Secure 2.0 Act of 2022, it serves as a centralized location to track down lost or forgotten benefits and information on where it's located. So I gave it a try to find out if I had any forgotten 401ks. To verify my identity, I needed to take a picture of my driver's license and a selfie, but read the photo directions carefully. Missing a detail like taking a photo of your license on a light surface instead of a dark surface, or wearing glasses in your selfie could stall the process. Great news, we have information for you. If your search pulls results, it'll give you details including the plan name, amount, and year reported. The year reported is worth noting because you may have rolled those funds over between the posted date and now. If you want to skip the site and search your old jobs on your own, that's an option too.
Include going through your resume and finding the HR departments of your former employers and reaching out to them. Part of their job is to handle this kind of thing.
Sam Taub with NerdWallet said you can also look at old W-2s.
They're going to include information about how much you deferred from your paycheck to add to something like a 401k.
That way, all of the money you saved for retirement gets to your retirement. I mentioned checking out the report year because I surprisingly found an account on my profile, but I noticed the year reported was 6 years ago and I've made some changes since that date. The Indianapolis Public Libraries are a place where you borrow books, maybe some DVDs. They're also a place you can take a course to learn more about email safety, data, and other technology.
They're trying to weed out and see who's going to fall for the traps.
It's an education at the right price.
Anything that's free, that's me.
Stephanie is attending the Senior Tech Academy so she can be a more active member of the organizations she supports.
I didn't realize how far behind I'd gotten.
The course, sponsored by AARP, is 1 day a week for a month.
If you're thinking about it, do it.
Paul Moore with the Indianapolis Public Library said since technology changes, so does the course.
We want to make sure that we're giving the right information to the right people.
The curriculum includes how to secure your accounts, data tracking, and common scams. To check availability, head to the library's website and search classes for the word tech.
Come on out. It's free and it's fun. People are nice.
Remember, libraries offer a ton of different classes, not just technology. I'm Allison Gormly, and that's What's the Deal?